Welcome back. You're now watching the political segment of the weekend show. Our discussion today is Nigeria's border closure and its effect on the economy. The closure of our borders has continued to generate reactions within and outside the country. President Muhammadu Buhari explained that the borders were closed to prevent smugglers from bringing in smuggled goods, arms and ammunition, as well as illegal immigrants into the country. The spokesman of the Nigerian Customs Services described the service as a joint operation coordinated by the Office of the Nigerian National Security Advisor, involving the Nigerian Customs, Nigerian Immigration Services, Nigerian Police Force, as well as other security and intelligence agencies in the country. Joining us on today's program to discuss this, we have...
In the studio today, we have with us the National Secretary of the Federation of Agricultural Commodity Association of Nigeria, Honorable Dr. Bello Nuhu Dogondaji. Welcome to the Weekend Show, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Bello, tell me, what is your perspective on this issue? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? There's been varying options on the closure of our borders. We all know its impact on our economy. Is there a way that the government, is there a preventative measure that the government could have put in place before passing this policy to prevent the hit it is taking to our economy?
This is the best decision for now, because all other options have been taken. And for now, this is the best for the country. This is the best for everybody.
But, so, over the last couple of weeks, we've seen a couple of pictures, videos, and reports of people's goods waiting at the Nigerian border. For instance, there's a border in Katsina State where a lot of goods from Nigeria go to neighboring countries such as Benin Republic, where most of those countries depend on Nigeria for some of their items like plastic wares, homewares, which are not necessarily agricultural products. And just last week, an association in Ghana has said if Nigeria is taking such measures, maybe the country, Ghana, their government should also shut their borders to Nigeria. So besides the fact that there's the security implications, this seems to be affecting other businesses and Nigerian businesses. And so while we try to put certain measures in place, how can we create a balance where Nigerians aren't suffering because of this border closure?
Well, you see, you have known that the consequences of illegal smuggling to any nation economy is devastating, because it does not encourage the home productions of commodities. Because always you feel that the imported goods are superior to your locally made goods. When you don't allow goods to come in, imported goods to come in, then you will encourage local production and patronage. That's my take.
But Nigerians who are businessmen who sell things outside Nigeria and need to use the land borders, their businesses are now suffering. What happens to them?
Most of the land border businesses, you know, they are informal.
That's not true.
Mostly, I am saying mostly.
Yeah, but that's not facts.
Well, it may not, I mean, this is my own take, because I deal in commodities.
Yeah, so I understand.
And I can speak for commodities.
Exactly. We want to speak factual on the program. So we have legitimate businesses using land borders to transport their goods. So with a policy like this, don't you see the detrimental effects to their businesses?
I didn't say all the goods that passes across the borders are illegal. No, I didn't say that. I say in most cases. So don't, you know, let's be factual about what we are talking about, because we are talking.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the statistics that you have for most cases, because when you say most cases, do you have the facts and figures to prove that most of the goods moved through the land borders are illegal? Because the reason we ask this question is because Nigeria signed on to the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. What are the implications for Nigeria at large? Because as Andy quietly just said briefly, Ghana has also threatened to close its borders to Nigeria. So are we just going ahead and signing agreements that we don't understand?
No, I want you to understand from this perspective. When you have your own internal problem, you must be very careful in the way you handle it. Because if you don't handle it very well, then it will affect your own economy. And this is exactly what we're facing, as a matter of fact.
But the concern with this is we have the culture of banning and regulating in Nigeria where, as opposed to fixing the problem or providing a solution side by side, stopping the problem, we just ban and shut down. So since the borders have been shut down, as Nigerians, we don't know what's being done. We've not seen that they're now maintaining the borders, increasing and improving border security, and then creating alternative ways for businesses not to suffer. Why do we have to shut one down totally in order to protect the others? And what are the measures? There's no timeline which we know about. We've not seen, as the average Nigerian, we've not seen what's being done to ensure that, okay, while this might be temporary, this is what legal businesses can do. Why do we just have to shut down, ban, and stop, as opposed to saying, we do this, and this, well, not everybody can afford to transport their goods via air because of the nature and the quantity.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
do you say, in your opinion, this is right, but don't you think that we could have half and half? Fix the security situation, improve border control, and then still find a way to check that this smuggling isn't happening?
I am not speaking for the security man.
Yes.
But I know they will do the right thing at the right time. That's my take.
Regardless of the
Sometimes
fact
when
that
you
there are
have
no
a problem
timelines?
at a go, then you have to take measures, total measures. Then as you move, then you could consider other options, security-wise.
Okay, because I'm still trying to understand where AFTA plays in here, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, because we signed onto that. Is Nigeria just going about signing onto different agreements without any willpower to actually execute this? That I'm wondering.
No, you see, the African trade or African continent trade agreements, you see, we are a signatory to it. Nigeria is a signatory to it. And we are not running away from that responsibilities. But you know, when you have an issue, especially that borders on securities, you cannot negotiate it for something else.
So is this a temporary solution or a permanent solution or a long-term?
I cannot speak for government, but I know the government can take the right decision at the right time, like what it's doing now. I'm sure some other options will come, but I cannot speak for government, as a matter of fact.
Interesting. I know you're in the agricultural field, so is this going to affect our agricultural sector positively or negatively, bearing in mind that we also export goods via the land border?
Well, to me, it is going to affect commodity positively.
In what sense?
In so many ways. I am dealing on agricultural commodities, and I am the national secretary for the umbrella body of all commodity associations in Nigeria. And as it is, we are sitting on the value change of these commodities. And the value change means value addition. With the situations on the ground, it has given us the opportunities to add value on our commodities rather than just moving the commodities along the border sides without adding value. You understand? And what am I saying? You know what has happened to rice? Rice as a commodity. You know.
Yes, but while you talk about rice, I actually
years.
want to say something about rice. And sorry for cutting you short. I don't know if you've seen this, but I've seen videos of people who, now we've closed our borders, for instance, and people are now buying rice from Kano, Katsina, and the likes. But there are videos of people taking them to other states and rebagging them in bags from foreign companies to show as foreign rice. So they buy a bag of rice at, say, 7,500 naira from northern Nigeria, go to Lagos and bag it and sell it at 17,500 naira. While the farmers and traders are making their money, the average Nigerian, you and I who sit here, we still have to buy at that high price. And so where's the positivity in all of that if you're stopping one problem, but criminals will find a new way to have still finesse the system?
No.
So as a Nigerian, I still suffer. And like many other people watching at home. So yes, the value is being added. Local farmers are doing well. But what happens to local civil servants, local entrepreneurs, local business people who still have to buy this product, but they're now being exploited?
I'm sure the security agencies are taking note of those things. Like you have seen it on the video, I have also seen it.
Good.
It's really abnormal. It's abnormal. But I'm telling you, if a bag of rice can be sold for 7,000 somewhere in Sokoto or somewhere in the north, I think we are making progress. It means the locally produced rice is sending away the foreign rice. Am I right?
But it doesn't stop the fact that for me, who am not a rice seller, the price of rice hasn't gone down significantly.
It will go with time.
We keep saying with time, and it's good, like she said, for us to deal with facts as a country.
Do you know
and this
the
is
amount
not
of
you.
money that was saved as a result of rice revolution in this
But
in
that's
Nigeria?
the point. We don't know these figures. Who is tabulating it? Where's this comparative analysis saying this is what? Yes, we know across board, rice production and sale has increased. I saw what happened in Kebbi State, for instance. So yes, we agree, and that is great.
Yes.
But if it doesn't trickle down to the bottom line, is this really progress, or do we have to always wait and see? Because that's all we've seemed to be doing.
No, but I want you to I want to take you back to the memory lane.
Okay.
In those years, we were importing rice from Thailand and some other countries, right? But with the stoppage of this, you know what is happening? Most of those factories over there have closed down simply because we are not importing rice.
Finally, Dr. Bello.
And let me take you also to it.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know the amount of rice we consume every day? 1 billion naira imported rice. And as a result of the mass production of rice in this country, we were able to save over 366 billions from this exercise.
So finally, still on the land border issue, after the closure of the land border, what extra value have you added to your agricultural commodities over the past few weeks that has ensured or that can prove that this policy is actually beneficial to the majority of Nigerian businesses?
If I take rice, for instance, the local millers, they are busy milling rice, processing rice for home consumptions, because they know that so-called rice that were stocked in Benin Republic, because all these major rice producing nations, they were dumping their rice in Benin Republic and causing a lot of problems for Nigeria, because all the rice they dumped in that place was moved into Nigeria over the years, and even now. But with the closure of the borders, that has put an end to it. And God has blessed Nigeria. Look at what is happening. Rain is still falling. It's still raining. Like, it's still raining. And people are busy, planting rice, planting other commodities. Nigeria is a blessed country. And we should count ourselves proud of ourselves for a nation that is blessed by God. But we need to take our destiny by ourselves. We need to be mindful with our local consumptions for any nation that cannot feed itself.
That's a fine place
That's
to
a
be in.
problem.
Yes, I completely
There's no
agree
food security.
that we need to be able to feed ourselves.
We need to feed ourselves.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Bello, for
Thank you
coming
very
in today's
much.
program.
Welcome.
We'll take a short break right now. When we return, more on the political segment of the weekend show. Don't go anywhere.